All right, guys, welcome back to Road to 2000. Today we're taking a break from the rapid games. We're taking a look at another blitz game. And in this game, I had a brilliant move. We're going to find that move together and also just a really strong finish to secure the victory in this one. And yeah, we're going to find those moves together. So it's going to be a good one. Let's take a look. Okay, so I'm a high 1600s blitz game, 3-2, 3-minute game. Opponent's 1650 roughly. Let's take a look. King Pawn. Lately I've been playing this Scandinavian defense line I learned from the Remote Chess Academy, which I've played in some of the recent videos. And it starts with this knight f6 move in the Scandinavian defense. Opponent gets the knight out. We take the pawn back. Play continues here. They attack my knight. It's already defended by the queen. It's fine. So we just keep activating our pieces. Bishop g4. H3, bishop h5, g4, got to move the bishop, bishop g6, d3. I'm trying to get better at calling out the moves, by the way, guys. So give me some grace if I'm a little slow or if I say the wrong one here or there. E6, bishop to f4. Can you guys tell me what is wrong with this move? In the game, I did not see what was wrong with this move, but that's just a free bishop. So I had a really low accuracy in this game because this bishop was hanging for several moves. So definitely should have taken the bishop there, but I didn't see it. And I went bishop c5. Play continues, knight d2, knight c6. I still should have taken the bishop. H4, threatening to trap my bishop. So I go h6 here. And if they push, I'm going to back up. Again, I still should have taken here. And they moved the bishop back. And during the game, I was like, why did they do that? That's such a weird move. Maybe they wanted to defend this pawn. But I think they just finally realized that this was hanging. So, all right. Queen e7. Queen e2. Here, yeah, I'm just trying to activate, continue developing, get the queen off the back rank. Also, as opposed to queen d7, where maybe this knight jump is annoying at some point, hitting us there. Probably doesn't matter. A6. My idea here was, it seems like white's going to castle queenside. So I wanted to play a6, partly so they don't start pinning this knight, but also to aid maybe a little pawn storm type action over here to come attack the white king on the queen side. Opponent goes a3. Here I jumped in with a knight, so knight d4, and I'm threatening this fork, so white has to do something about this. My idea was that they would trade the knight, which they did, and now I have some pressure on the b2 pawn, so they have to do something about that. They could castle this way. That seems kind of sketch to me, because, I don't know, this feels a little too loose. And my knight is nearby. I also have some pressure this way. Something about it just doesn't quite feel right. They could also go c3 to prevent the bishop from taking or to reduce the pressure on this. But that would also be good, I think, for me, because long term that's kind of weakening their queen side, and then they don't really have anywhere safe to put their king in the end. So. Yeah, this was what I had planned. It was okay, they're going to go c3, and then I'll probably move the bishop either back here or somewhere back along this diagonal, whatever, but I've induced a weakness in their position. My opponent decides to castle anyways. Okay, so here's the first moment where I want you guys to pause and find what I played in this position, because I do think now that something just feels off. The king feels maybe a little too vulnerable here. And I'll give you guys 5 seconds so you can pause, and then I'll give you a hint if you need it. So yeah, maybe you're looking at you should consider bishop sacrifice ideas. If king takes, can the queen jump in? You can't really go here because of this pawn, and you can't take the pawn because then the king is defending it. Okay, that doesn't really work. Also look at kind of crazy moves that What would be a nice move that you want to play in this position, but like doesn't quite work out? I don't know if that's a good hint or not, but that's the best I can do. And I'll give you another 5 to 10 seconds. So what I noticed here was these pawns are a little loose in general. The king is a little loose in general. These are the queen and the rook are on forkable squares. It almost looks like I could just put my knight on c3, but I mean they're just gonna take me though. So like maybe like do we sacrifice first? Like bishop takes, but king takes. That doesn't quite work for the knight. You can't sack the queen. They recapture, and you just don't quite have the follow up, even if you go here. So the move, but then I realized that the move is to actually just play the knight there anyways. Knight c3. If you guys saw that, drop a like on the video. Comment down below if that was too hard to find, or if you found it, let us know. Yeah, so the idea here is, first of all, you're getting this fork, and this is what I meant by saying like, this is the move I wanted to play, but this pawn was defending. If white takes, it seems very scary, because then we're going to take here, and things look, doesn't look good. I think white should have just moved the queen and let me take this rook. That's what the computer said to do, is just move the queen back, go down the exchange, which means trade a rook for a knight, and you live to keep fighting here, so you're down 2 points of material. Instead, my opponent, I think, should have taken more time here. I think they took like 10 seconds or so, and like 9 seconds, and they didn't consider how sketchy this is going to be for their king. So yeah, now how do you guys want to follow this up? So you definitely go for the check. So queen takes a3, check. King has to move, only move, can't block at all. And now, what do you guys want to play here? So you could actually take with either piece here on c3, and it's going to be game over. I took with the bishop, and there's just nothing black can do to stop both of these mating threats. So maybe you're looking at like knight b3 to try to stop the one in the corner, but we still just checkmate on b2. And yeah, there's just nothing they can do. So an absolutely savage one. And yeah, if you take with the queen this way, it's the same deal. You're threatening mate here and mate on a1, and it's game over. Before we do a quick recap of what led to this moment in the game where we could play the brilliant move, let me tell you guys too about a very useful mindset trick, the so-called Sam Shankland question. Sam Shankland is a top GM, and he's popularized asking, what happens if I do it anyways? So like maybe you're in a position and your opponent seems like they're stopping one of your ideas, and you have to ask yourself sometimes and push past that and ask, what happens if I do it anyways? And this is like a classic case in this game where like this knight move, like, I mean, it seems really crazy. It seems like you would never just give away your knight for no reason, right? But then when you ask yourself, what happens if I do it anyways, and you realize, well, there's some other weaknesses, like what actually happens, and then you see that white is collapsing. So yeah, really great trick. It's helped me a lot over the past year or so. I learned it through Daniel Naroditsky's stream, and it's awesome. So try it out in your games. It's game over. So if we back up a few steps here, in general, white started like pushing these pawns. Usually you're going to castle kingside most games, right? And you want to keep your pawn shield. I've talked about this in the series before. And by thrusting these pawns, white has now committed to either trying to stay safe in the center or trying to castle queenside for safety. And they let me kind of ramp up a little too much pressure, and their position just was a little too disjointed to castle kingside. They could have gone c3, maybe my bishop move, yeah, sure. Like, let's say I move there and then castle. And now, I mean, it's still not super safe. They have a lot of light square weaknesses over here, but I mean, they're alive, versus what happened in the game. And I mean, this is a hard move to find, but at the same time, it's the product of the precariousness of white's position. And part of the way I found this is often if you have some pressure on a pawn like this, that's going to have like a check, if you can like sacrifice on this pawn, on the b2 pawn, or you can deflect it this way or whatever, that can be your entry point in. So I've just seen a lot of tactics like that through my years of puzzle solving and whatever. And that is what won us the game. Our opponent underestimated it. They should have just given us the rook, and instead we got a beautiful dominant finish. So that's it for today's video, guys. I just want to give you a short and sweet one. And if you want to catch more episodes like this, make sure you're subscribed. And I think in the next episode, we'll do a rapid game. See you then. Thanks a lot.